I was going to say, right back at you. You're the ones that deserve this standing ovation because you're the ones that are making our state strong, and together we're going to win this race. And I can't believe Steve brought up sewing, but we'll talk about that another time. You know, I'm running for Congress because I believe that Washington still isn't working for the people of the 6th District, and frankly, I think our current member of Congress isn't either. Families, small business owners, workers, veterans, seniors, too many are struggling right now. Sure, we're fed up with exploding deficits and wasteful government spending. As someone who voted for balanced budgets in the Minnesota Senate that cut billions of dollars out of the state budget, totaling 10% in just the last 2 years, I'm fed up too. But we're also fed up with business as usual in Washington. We're fed up with politicians who are more concerned with getting reelected than getting results. We're fed up with politicians who think bipartisanship is a dirty word. We're fed up with politicians who put the special interests and their own agenda ahead of the interests of their own constituents. And that's what we've had in the 6th District for the last 4 years. Isn't that right, people of the 6th District? Yes. Congresswoman Bachmann, by her own admission, has done nothing during her time in Congress to help the people of our district. She's fought against important projects like North Star that bring jobs and economic development to our communities. She's done nothing to create a job, help a family stay in their home, or help struggling families make ends meet. Instead, she's taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from big corporations and voted with them down the line. These are the facts. That's right. I've spent my life building stronger neighborhoods and stronger communities. Together, we all have done that, whether it's been helping found Habitat for Humanity, whether it's been working with seniors and veterans and kids and families, whether it's been running the Minnesota Community Action Partnership. I know that if we work together, we can get things done. And so the voters are going to have a choice between two very different candidates on November 2nd. Congresswoman Bachmann, who for the past 4 years has done nothing but talk and talk and talk, and me, a candidate who has spent a lifetime walking the walk. Now, we obviously all in this room care deeply about jobs, and in the 6th District, with some of the highest unemployment and the highest foreclosure rates in the state, we really are the ones that are getting impacted. Michele wants to go back to the failed economy of the past. She votes for Wall Street against Main Street every single time. Just this past year, she voted to create jobs, over 9,500 jobs, through the ARA investments. She took over $308,000 in campaign contributions from Wall Street and then refused to hold them accountable. She's voted against minimum wage and unemployment insurance, and in the last 4 years has gotten worse. Bachmann's labor record is abysmal. I think you probably are aware of that. She's voted against jobs, against good jobs. Heck, she even wants to eliminate the minimum wage. And did I mention that she voted against extending unemployment insurance? Okay, not once, not twice, but 3 times this year. 3 times. Now, I've worked to create jobs. I've met a payroll and a bottom line. I've been a leader in healthcare and run a statewide organization. And I, like many of you, have a couple of sons who are newer in the workforce, and I worry about their future. We've created jobs, real jobs, like bringing Arctic Cat to St. Cloud, bringing jobs from Japan and putting them in central Minnesota. And in the last year alone, in spite of Governor Pawlenty, we've created 22,000 infrastructure jobs from this bonding bill. America is at a crossroads. We can go back to the failed Bush policies of the past, the ones that got us in this economic mess, the ones Michele Bachmann supports, or we can move forward with a get-ahead agenda, harnessing the incredible ingenuity and innovation that made us the best in the whole world. Now, our get-ahead agenda, let's put people to work now, back to work now, infrastructure, rebuilding the America backbone of roads, bridges, and our communities. Let's support good wages and working conditions by supporting our workers' rights to organize, prevailing wages, and the ability to negotiate a level playing field, something Michele has voted against every single time. It's time to, again, invest in the entrepreneurship of our country again, and getting banks getting back to getting credit and cash out to our businesses, which they haven't been doing. And just last week, Congress voted to make that happen, and Michele once again voted against it. We have an opportunity to get ahead of the curve, not just behind it, creating new high-tech jobs, green energy jobs, cutting red tape, and letting people innovate. And let's face it, we need to work on workforce development. And one other area that I want to make sure that I focus on today before I leave is transportation, because not one of us will forget the day when the I-35W bridge collapsed. The shock from that day became fear for other bridges around our state that were built the same way. And one came right through the heart of St. Cloud that really ties our communities east and west on the Highway 23 bridge. It was deemed unsafe, and we were going to need to rebuild it. And given where our transportation funding had been under the governor's situation, if you'd gotten your learning permit on that Good Friday when the bridge was closed, that bridge wouldn't have been rebuilt for 7 years, not until someone graduated from college. So we knew we needed to do something better. But what did our Congresswoman do? She was against rebuilding the bridge. She wouldn't reach out and help us with funding. So we had to make sure that we worked together to realign our new state funding and make sure this bridge could be rebuilt. Republicans and Democrats alike came together to make that happen, and we knew we had to keep people safe in the wake of that tragedy. Now, despite being a hindrance and not a help, what did Congresswoman Bachmann do? She showed up to attend the ribbon cutting. Now, a big difference between Michele Bachmann and me is I know the difference between wasteful government spending and important regional projects. And maybe it looks like it's wasteful government spending if all we get out of it is a photo op. But it's time that we're coming back together to rebuild our communities and make our country competitive throughout the globe. I'm not going to cut ribbons. I'm going to cut through partisanship and make sure we have the goods and services to help our people grow our economy. I'm supporting North Star. Let's face it, in Minnesota, we don't do things halfway. And while I got a chance to ride on it again yesterday, going halfway isn't the way it works. We need to get it all the way up to St. Cloud and perhaps beyond. We need to grow jobs and transportation networks, moving our goods and people towards our economy and moves it forward. We support cost-effective development that makes sense and putting people back to work. Now, as my mother-in-law likes to talk about, she's a big frugal person. I'm pretty frugal myself, but she loves triple coupons. For those of you who don't know what triple coupons are, if you have a coupon, on that day that you get to redeem it, it's 3 times the value. It's a really good deal. She particularly likes it when she gets it for free. Now, right now, if we're building our infrastructure, if we're improving our transportation system, it's like triple coupon day because we're going to be able to rebuild our communities, we're going to have cheaper supplies, and we're going to have the lower interest rates. So we can right now make sure we're getting those things done, but not if Michele Bachmann is still in office. This election and this time in America's history are critical. We need action from all of us, just like Mark was talking about, to fix Washington and get back to the job of building stronger families, stronger communities, and a stronger America. The place that Congresswoman Bachmann would have us live in is not the America we know. In her world, teachers are criminals, and making BP pay oil spill victims is extortion. Community volunteerism are re-education camps. If Michele had her way, near retirees would be weaned off of Social Security and Medicare. What I can't figure out, it's our money. Why would she want to do that? Oil companies, big insurance companies, and Wall Street would be free to do as they please. And funding for our soldiers, our veterans, our police officers, and our firefighters would be considered to be wasteful government spending. Is this the kind of America we want? No. Is this what we want for Minnesota? No. Is this what we want for our families and our communities? No. It doesn't have to be that way. I know we can do better. We can create jobs and reduce the deficit. We can invest in education and hold taxes down on middle-class families. We can work together, Republicans and Democrats, to solve challenges facing our country. I'm not running for Congress because I want fame or fortune. I'm running for Congress because I want to get results. Now, people may not always agree with me on every issue, but I commit to going and continuing to work with you to get things done. I'm always going to do what I think is right, and together we will make a difference. We know that Washington must change, but it will only happen if we elect people who are committed to action and not just words, people who are committed to getting results and not headlines, people who are committed to working for Minnesota families, not the special interests or their own interests. We are in striking distance in this race, but I need you now. I need you to sign up to volunteer this week and next week and the week after. Come together with your brothers and sisters to do so. There is no time to waste, and just over a month before the election. This is now the battleground race for the country. We either can move forward or move back to those Bush policies. We can either make sure that Mark Dayton is the next governor because we've won the 6th district, or we're faced with the possibility of Tom Emmer because the 6th district right now is where it's all about. Make no mistake, what you do or not do in the next 4 weeks will determine if the doors of Congress are open to labor or closed to labor. I want them open, so come with me, join me, sign up, and let's win this race for our working men and women and make our country a better place for all of us. Thank you so much.